for all. Pursuant to the provisions of Section 2.68.030 of the Metropolitan Code of Laws, notice is hereby given if you are not satisfied with the decision made by the Metropolitan Transportation Licensing Commission. You may appeal the decision by petitioning for a writ of certiorari with the Davidson County Chancery or Circuit Court. Your appeal must be filed within 60 days of the date of the entry of the Metropolitan Transportation Licensing Commission's decision. We advise that you seek your own independent legal advice to ensure that your appeal is filed in a timely manner and that all procedural requirements have been met. Have the commissioners had an opportunity to review last month's meeting minutes?
Yes.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
The motion passes. First item on our agenda, we have, it's under horse carriages. It's a driver application for Kelly Russell. Ms. Fields?
Kelly Russell Spicer. There was a little Russell, big maiden name. Miss Russell didn't make her application, failed to list a 1997 DUI. Everything else is in order. And Miss Spicer's present.
1997.
Yes.
Move to approve.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes.
Thank you.
Can I just say that I did get a DUI and that was dismissed and it should have been on the record. For the record.
For the public record.
Thank you.
Yes, you are. Thank you.
Poor lady.
Next item on our agenda is a low-speed vehicle topic. We have a driver application for Christopher Nanny.
Mr. Danny's present and also as the owner of Cruisin' as well. In making his application, everything was listed. However, he had had an incident where he had been found innocent over a mental issue. One of the issues that we have is he has to swear that he's physically and mentally fit to act as a low-speed driver. So I spoke with him about that, and again, because of the nature of it, I wanted to bring him in. I think he's prepared to talk about that, that episode and where he is today. Other than that, everything else is in order, and his company ownership vouching for him.
Yeah, so I just begin. Well, it's about 7 years ago. I had what was called a temporary break with reality, which I've read is common among early 20-year-olds. And I broke into a church, not to steal anything, but out of a delusion, I guess you could say. I was ruled not guilty by reasons of temporary insanity, and I spent 6 months, 6 months in a facility for the criminally insane, you could say. But I was released, and I've been working and living and doing my thing healthily ever since. Been in Tennessee about 3.5 years, and this happened in Florida.
We have no issues listed from Tennessee.
Is there any medication that
Yes,
followed
sir.
up with that?
No, sir.
None.
Nothing since 2010, right?
No, ma'am.
I move to approve.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any nays? Motion approved.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next, we have driver applications for wrecker and towing services by Marvin Freeman and Perry Lee Kiles Jr.
Mr. Freeman? Mr. Freeman has, what his application was asked for is he's currently a driver for, he's restricted to dads. He was restricted last July. He's asked to be transferred over to AAA, but we've not heard back from AAA. Again, it's not an application as such for approval or disapproval. It was a matter of allowing him to go to a different company. May I suggest that we just remove it from the agenda, take no action, and if he wants to come back, he just need to come with another company and make that request?
That's fine. Thank you.
Okay, so we'll just withdraw it from
Yeah,
the
withdraw.
agenda.
Yep.
Okay. Thank you. Mr. Kyles? Mr. Kyles has applied to be a record driver. In making his application, he failed to disclose a drug charge in 2015 and drug charge in 2016. And again, not that the remainder of the commission is not that familiar with it. I look over at Mr. McNally, he certainly might have some insight into it. But he did fail to disclose.
Mr. Kyles, do you have a reason why you didn't list it on your application?
Well, it was supposed to be expunged off my record, so I didn't know that I had to write it. So that's why I had sent the letter from Rutherford County showing that it was expunged. I didn't know. I apologize for that. But I had my record permit before that, but I had took off because I had surgery on my shoulder. So I come to reapply for it again because it had expired. Then I didn't know that that was on my record. I thought it was off. I apologize for that.
I see your one case where you got a 1-year sentence and you were put on judicial diversion.
Uh-huh.
Is that the 2015 case?
Yes.
What was with the 2016?
If I ain't mistaken, I think they said it was a violation of probation, but the violation was dismissed because I didn't violate it because my lawyer being partially down in Rutherford County. He actually got it thrown out because I didn't do nothing wrong from it, and he actually fought it.
All right, it's a little hard for me to read your TBI record, but it looks to me like in 2015 you pled guilty to a Schedule 6 controlled substance?
Yes, I had I was going through a school zone.
I don't need the facts.
I'm sorry.
And was it marijuana?
Yes, sir.
All right. And you were given a 1-year sentence and then placed on judicial diversion for 1 year?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And then what you're saying is this 2016 that looks like another drug case is a probation from that original 2015 case?
Yes, sir.
And it was thrown out, or it was
Yes, sir.
dismissed?
Yes, sir.
What was the allegation of the probation?
It was
violation?
from small possession of marijuana.
More possession of marijuana?
No, it was from the previous charge of that. They tried to push it forward.
What was the allegation that you violated probation? What were the facts they claimed was a violation of your probation? in the
One of my
warrant?
drug tests on the drug screen, it was light pink, but with it being pink, I passed, and they thought that I was still smoking, but I never failed a drug test in my life.
Okay. And your year has passed.
Yes.
So you thought it had been dismissed and expunged.
Yes, sir.
But why didn't you report it anyway?
Because I didn't know I had to put that on because the lady at the court office in Rutherford County said that it should be off my record and that I shouldn't have to worry about writing it down or anything. That's why I brought that paper with me and made a copy of it because she told me to keep it with me just in case it did pop up to show.
Mm-hmm.
But once again, I apologize for not putting it on there. And I truly apologize. Like, I just want to get back in the tow business. I miss it. I really miss it a lot. Like, it's
So you've
one
done
job
this
that I
work
really love
before?
to do. Yeah, I used to work for Cottons.
Okay.
And they are prepared to,
Yes. Mr. David Williams told me I could put his name down, but he couldn't be here today. But
well, he could be restricted if you chose to.
I just, we're back to that same thing. We're an expunged offense. Person thinks
Correct.
it's expunged off the record, so they think they don't have to put it on this application, even though I know the wording says including expunged offenses. So,
And I knew that
and
the
it's
diversion,
common.
and I knew that the diversion was not guilty, so it was not the disposition, so that's the reason we got it here today.
I don't know what more we can do to make it apparent to people to know to put down the expunged, but since many people, I should say, seem to be misunderstanding it.
We could put a lawyer. I'll be happy to put a sign up in the lobby saying, please list all expungements.
I still don't think it's going to
Probably.
help, but anyway, unless there's any other questions, I'm ready to make a motion. I move to approve his application.
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes.
Thank y'all, thank you, thank you.
Next,
Most
we
grateful
have
person I've had.
other passenger vehicles for hire renewals
I can't download
for
this
several
number. Here we go.
companies.
There we are.
Mr. Fields?
I got it.
Flight Park, Matchless, Queen, Regal Limo, Signature Limo, and Sotir Limo just passed the deadline for renewal, or they would not be back in front of you. All the paperwork has been brought back. In fact, I think we finished the last one today for everything. They're all in order and a current business, and we're licensed up until they failed the deadline. Just failed the deadline.
Seriously. I make a motion to approve.
All those in favor? Motion passes. We also have a review, we've been asked to review a request to modify ownership for two companies, Renaissance Limo and Roundabout.
Renaissance Limo would like to remove Daniel Daniel as a partner. Roundabout would like to add Patricia Hurt as a partner. Anytime we make a change to the application, it has to be considered by the commission.
I make a motion to approve.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. Also have company applications from Duke Limo, Black Jaguar, and Touch of Class Transport LLC. Mr. Fields?
They are new OPVH companies that made application. Their applications are complete and in order.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. I'm sorry, what was your name?
So, my name is Amir.
Did you want to make a statement?
No.
Okay.
He's just one of the companies. He wanted to make sure he got approved. I suspect now that he's approved, he'd like to say thank you and walk away.
Next, we have
You're fine, sir. Thank you.
Good, sir. Thank you.
a company certificate changes for several other passenger vehicle for hire companies. Mr. Fields?
Advent Transportation has made an address change. Johnston Transportation had a name change and address change. My Corporate Car had a name change and an address change. Then Titan Solid just had an address change. Again, have to be here in order to actually make that happen.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. We also have new owner, existing company applications by MTLS3 DBA Black Diamond Limo and MTLS3 DBA Cool Spring Executive Services.
MTLS3 has purchased Black Diamond as well as Cool Spring Executive Service. So they want to continue to operate them with just some slight name changes, but basically it's just an ownership change that has to be approved by the commission.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. Any other business, Mr.
We
Fields?
do have one driver.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, he's on the other page.
Mr. Michael T. Hunt. Mr. Hunt applied to be an emergency record driver for Tommy's Record Service. In making the application, let me double check here. I think he failed to. I think he failed to list a 2006 charge. Normally, he would have waited to May. With an emergency company, I've always felt a little higher level of obligation, trying to get it in front of you as soon as we can, in case there is an issue with an emergency company. His application is in order, but he did leave something off.
Correct. It says here that you failed to list 2006 vandalism and an assault charge.
Yes,
Is that
sir.
right?
Same thing that I've been hearing all morning. I didn't get convicted of it. I didn't think it would even be on a record, but oversight on reading the part where it said list everything.
You might need that sign, Mr. Fields.
I can assure you, when they come in, staff is very adamant.
They are.
Very clear on make sure you list everything.
They are.
Maybe we need to highlight that sentence in yellow.
I could enlarge it, I guess.
If they only understood listing it's not the problem, it's failing to list it.
Right.
Yeah. I make a motion to approve.
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Motion to adjourn.
Any other business, Mr. Fields?
I second that motion.
What one? Mr. Freeman.
Oh, never mind.
Mr. Freeman is now present, that we had removed him from the agenda. Can we,
Oh,
Yes.
would it be okay if Brent will allow it? Mr. Freeman was before you on July 28th of last year, and he was restricted to Dad's record service. He now he would like to, unless you specifically say how long, we assume the restrictions for 1 year. Sometimes you're restricted for, as little as 3 months or 6 months, but unless it's specified, we do it for 1 year, and then we release them from their restriction, unless you said forever. And again, that doesn't happen. So Mr. Freeman would like to go to work for another company, and he may want to talk about that.
Yes, I got when I was here last year, I had a restriction that in the office, which I talked to the lady, she said it was her mistake that I was restricted for 3 months. Okay, that was to Dad's record service. I never went to Dad's at all. After that, Dad's wasn't gonna pay enough about it, and they staff was full. It was only part-time work. So after that, I went to what you call advanced towing, and which I had Andre the call to talk to the lady. She said it wasn't no restriction, and that they'll put advanced towing on my record permit. So I stayed with Andre, and then Andre started running slow. So then I went to TowPro. After that, I just said I just wait till y'all after getting a letter from the mail, find out what's going on. So I went to Automasters. And then there's a place called AAA, which is contracted with Uncle Dave's Towing. I don't know if y'all familiar with Uncle Dave's. He's running contracts for AAA. So he offered me a good deal, and that's where I wanted to be at. He's out of Memphis, Tennessee, but they trucks is here.
Okay.
There apparently was some confusion, and we've now corrected the confusion on our end.
There's no issues.
No, not that I'm aware of. I don't, we haven't heard it. He's not been brought for anything that we know of.
What was the initial reason for the restriction?
I had some things on my background. I think I had like assault charge. It was simple assault. It was brought down to a misdemeanor, and a domestic charges that was involving me and my wife that we no longer together at all.
But you haven't had any issues since?
I have nothing since the last time I was in here, not even a ticket.
The list of companies that you gave us where you worked, were you fired from any of those?
No. TowPro, not to put nobody out there, TowPro, it was just like, because I have a license, I feel like it wasn't up to standard. I wanted to work alone just like this company is. I don't believe in working with somebody else because something go wrong. This person do something wrong. I don't want to be reliable for it. I want to be reliable for what Marvin does. And the guy was hooking up things wrong onto the truck, and we were moving big machines. And I never run hook up machines. The only thing I can do is hook up cars and trucks. Only the well, or we allowed to talk. But going to get big property, big generators and stuff, that's not me.
Some of the C-class record companies, especially TowPro and Cottons, as well as West Nashville and Dad's, have very large pieces of equipment, including C-class wreckers and they're almost cranes. They move a lot of equipment. So sometimes their drivers are called upon to move that. Some of it's actually outside what we license and don't license.
Right.
In terms of what they're towing has nothing to do with what we don't license, moving of equipment, things like that.
Right.
I just want to stick to cars and trucks and helping people roadside assistance. Bringing people gas, jump starting their car. That's what we do.
So what are we being asked to do today? Lift the restriction?
Allow him to lift the restrictions. Instead of waiting until July, lift his restriction in April. Then he'll be able to work for anyone as long as he abided by the rules. He'd be able to work for any company that's licensed by the city.
I'll make a motion to lift Mr. Freeman's restrictions based on the circumstances that he's explained today.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other business, Mr.
I
Fields?
have no other issue. One of the cab companies wanted to speak with the commission. I advised them that it was not a public hearing. I think, but one of the issues I know we've gotten dealt with, the other one I think we've probably gotten dealt with. If not, we could certainly, they could come and, it was just issues over how, some interpretations of a couple of things. I think we've got it. So, I have no other business.
All right.
I think we could deal with Mr. Fields at the office. So if we have any issues, we'll be here next month. So.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you.
Is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes.
Thank you.
Make the food truck.
Oh, yeah.